What fruit do you associate with Palestine? The watermelon? That wasn't always the case. Watermelon as a symbol for Palestine is a relatively recent phenomenon. Back in 1967, Israel banned the flying of the Palestinian flag, and would go on to ban anything even remotely resembling the symbol of the Palestinian flag, even just using the colors black, white, red, and green. Since watermelon typically contains those colors, it started being used as a resistance symbol, and in the modern day with the internet, it's only exploded in use. But historically, the fruit of Palestine is totally different, and goes back way further in Palestinian history. The orange. Back in the 1800s, Palestine wasn't some desolate wasteland. The coastline was covered in orange orchards, which were extremely popular in Europe. These oranges were known as Jaffa oranges, named after Jaffa, a city in Palestine. And perhaps you've heard of Jaffa cakes before? Well, those were named after Jaffa oranges. Not only were these oranges extremely popular, but they were also seen as a national symbol for Palestine. In fact, in 1929, someone even proposed remaking the flag with an orange on it. Back in the 1920s, this flag was not yet specific to Palestine. Instead, it was just a general symbol of Arab resistance, especially against colonialism. But at the same time, many Arab countries were starting to develop national identities, and so they would start with this flag as a base and then modify it slightly to make the flag of their nation. In 1929, the Palestinian newspaper PaIestinian remarked on the fact that two foreign flags were flying on their soil, and yet the British banned them from flying their own flag. They recognized the danger of not having a unifying national symbol, and so they invited the Palestinian people to write into the newspaper with their own proposed flag redesign. And what would make for a perfect national symbol? Why, the orange, of course. That's where this design comes from. Compare this flag with the Lebanese flag, for example. Both contain colors that are representative of Arab identity and their resistance against colonialism, but they also both contain distinctive national symbols to set them apart from the rest of the Arab world. So now, if we look at the other flag proposals that were sent into Palestine, you should see that they have similar symbolism. The four colors representative of Arab identity, but also the color orange, representative of Palestinian identity. But these redesigns never really stuck around, and though these colors are still broadly associated with Arab identity, this flag has since narrowed, and finally has become that national symbol Palestinians have always wanted. So why isn't the orange a symbol for Palestine anymore? Well, to some extent it still is, as a motif sometimes used in art, music, or literature. But it does seem like the orange has generally faded from public consciousness. That's probably because in 1948, many Palestinian agriculturalists were forcibly evicted from their orchards, and subsequently, Israel adopted the orange as their own national symbol. But allow me to leave you with one last observation. When Israel occupied the West Bank and Gaza, they equipped Palestinians with their own identity cards to distinguish them from Israeli citizens. Whereas Israelis got blue cards, Palestinians got orange cards. To quote one academic, who wrote the article I've used as a source for much of this video, in a certain way, although imposed and unwelcome, orange is still a Palestinian color.